Okay, right on time, as he always is. Carl Edwards joins us. He drives the number 99 UPS Ford this weekend. Good-looking outfit on you there. Haven't seen that one on you.
Thank you.
Carl is, like I said, driving that car this weekend for Roush Fenway. And Carl coming into Kentucky Speedway, still wanting to get that win to enhance your chances. We got 10 races. I believe this is the start of what they call the race to the chase. 10 races to go before we hit Richmond. So talk about what you want to try to do here this weekend at Kentucky Speedway.
Well, we don't want to. What we want to do is we want to win this race, and we want to deliver UPS a win, just like they deliver so much to so many people. And it's an honor to be driving the UPS Ford Fusion. I flew into Louisville yesterday and got to see from the air how big UPS's operation is over there at the hub. Spent some time over at Best Buy, and they work really closely with UPS, and learned a lot about their business, both of them, Best Buy and UPS yesterday. So we want to go get them a win here. This racetrack has been great for me. We've won the Truck Series, the Nationwide Series, finished 5th here in the Cup Series last year with a pretty ill-handling car. So Bob and I we're trying to use all of our brain power and go out here and start this 10-race run to the chase in a really positive manner, so we can make that chase and go fight for this championship. That's the mission for us right now, is to win races, get points, march up there, and be in a position to go win this championship.
Questions for Carl Edwards? Tom's got one right here. We'll start right here, and then we'll go to Bob.
Hi, Carl. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. You've raced with him a lot in the Nationwide Series. What kind of a teammate do you think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to make for you in the Cup Series?
I think Ricky's going to be a huge addition to our team. I think that, that he can drive a race car as well and as aggressively as anyone that I've ever raced against. And I believe that whatever the final plans are next year for Ricky, whether it's running just a Cup car or a mix or both full-time, I think he's going to be a great addition. I think he can bring a lot to the whole Cup program, a lot of new energy, and really he's just a fun guy to be around. So I think it'll be a good time.
Let's go to Bob Pockris and then Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Bob Pockris, Scoring News. Were you surprised by Matt's decision, and what's your kind of reaction that he won't be your teammate next year?
I was surprised. And I mean, Matt has been a great teammate. It took us a long time to figure out one another, and I feel that over the last few years he's been as close of a friend in the garage as anyone. I have a ton of respect for Matt. He's a heck of a man and a great race car driver. He's been a huge part of developing things on our team. He does a really good job of testing, of relaying information, of making all of our cars better. So there is definitely, it's a huge loss for us and a gain for whoever ends up with Matt as a driver. But at the same time, if Jeff Burton hadn't moved over to Childress, I would have never got the opportunity that I had at Roush. And same with I guess Chad Little, leaving and Kurt coming in. Jack has done over the years has developed some guys that have had success at Roush, and I think that there's the side of the losing Matt's bad, but the potential gain with Ricky could be it could be a net positive in the long run for Roush, but definitely Matt is a guy that's going to be a championship contender and a great competitor, whether he's at Roush or somewhere else, and we definitely hate to lose him. I do.
Joe Menzer, can we get him a mic, please? Right there.
Thanks. Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Having gone through a little bit of this last year yourself, I mean, could you kind of relate to what Matt must have been going through the first part of the year, and how do you kind of try to put that distraction aside then? Can he do that and contend for a championship?
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone more mentally tough than Matt Kenseth. I don't think that I think that if anything now, he's, I don't want to speak for him or anything, but I imagine with the the difficult stuff's behind him. Now he just goes out and races for the rest of the year and does the best he can. I mean, that's what I would do if I were him. But definitely that stuff weighs on you. And he did a really good job of keeping it out of the spotlight. It's kind of got to maybe talk to him about that. Like that part was no fun last year, but he did I think it's really up to each individual person. The same thing I said when you guys were bugging me every week last year. A guy's got to do what he thinks is best for him and his career, and you know, Matt didn't get to where he is by making poor decisions. He's making a decision that he thinks is best, and I respect that, and I think everyone should.
Let's go over here to the left. Mark Story, far left. Carl.
Hi, Carl. I'm Mark Story from the Lexington Herald-Leader. You obviously have raced here a lot. Have you had a chance to sort of evaluate kind of the changes here that were made in response to the traffic situation last year? And how much did what happened last year sort of overshadow, you know, the event and the race here last year?
I see, being a competitor, we had a motorhome here, so I didn't have to drive in. But obviously it was a huge point of frustration for the fans and everyone. Did they make a new exit on the highway? Is that, or what's? I don't understand exactly. All I know is I showed up at the racetrack last night. I came from the south and I pulled off at exit 55, and it wasn't the normal exit. I thought, so there's two exits that now? Was there always two exits?
There has been two exits. They've widened some of the exit ramps and roads into the racetrack.
Well, I came in on exit 55, and I was kind of blown away. I hadn't drove through all the parking back there and everything, and it seemed like there was a lot of room for a lot of folks. But I thought Bruton put a new exit in. So I guess I'd never been south of exit 57 before. But hopefully it's a good race weekend for the fans. This place has more energy. I know you guys see it, the media. It has more energy than almost any place we go to. The fans are wound up. I mean, they're pumped about NASCAR racing, and I'm hoping that they can make it to the race. I hope they don't get stuck out there in traffic, you know.
Let's go back over here to, let's get Claire right next to you, Brittany. Claire, and then we'll go to Patrick, Tom, Lee.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. In a sense, with Matt leaving, do you feel more pressure on your shoulders at Roush Fenway Racing?
That's a good question. Because of what Matt brings to the table and the ability he has to test and to add to the team, he's the only Cup champion there. He has he brings things that now, with him leaving, we're going to have to step it up. Greg and I and Ricky, all of us are going to have to make sure we do the best we can to fill those gaps, and there is more pressure. We've already talked about it a little bit in the shop. They said, hey, you're going to have to, have a bigger role in testing. Greg's going to have a bigger role in developing things, and I think that's something that we'll miss with Matt being gone.
All right, Patrick.
Patrick Levy, NASCAR Productions. Carl, right here.
Yep.
In a couple of weeks, we head to New Hampshire. Could you talk about some of the characteristics of Loudon and what it takes to run well there?
Loudon has been it's been really hot and cold for us. It's a great racetrack for us because the Red Sox and Fenway Sports Group are based up there. So a win there would be, it would be huge. Have John Henry and everyone there, that would be really cool. It's a flat, simple racetrack, and that makes it really hard because everybody's, most people know how to get around it. It's just you have to have the car perfect. You have to drive perfectly. And we had the chance to do a tire test up there a couple of months ago, and I think that helped me a little bit. But it's a deceivingly tough racetrack. Where this one has bumps, it's big, fast, slippery. It looks like it would be a very tough racetrack, but because it's tough for everyone, it gives you an opportunity to take advantage of people. A place like Loudon, if you've got a weakness, it really shows up. I mean, trust me, I've been passed by a lot of cars at Loudon.
Let's go over here to Tom, then we'll go to Michael, Lee, and then Courier.
Carl, Tom Jensen, Speed.com again. Shorter side skirts on the car this week and the new rear sway bar rules. Do the cars feel any different for you? Any harder or easier to drive?
I don't think the cars are much different. This track is a little bit hard to tell because it's so bumpy. But they're going the direction I like. They can knock the rear spoilers off of them, cut the splitters off the front, raise the cars 3 inches. I'm happy. Less downforce we have, the better. And I think NASCAR's going the right direction, trying to get the cars so that we can pass, race closer, and and even though this car is going to be gone, soon, I think any of those changes that take aerodynamic forces away from this type of racing, I think it's going to be good for NASCAR, and I appreciate them going that direction. I think it's cool.
Go ahead, Michael.
Carl, this is Michael Pointer from the Indianapolis Star. Again, kind of a looking ahead question. Is the Brickyard, in your opinion, is it still kind of considered the #2 race after Daytona by the drivers, or has that kind of changed in the last few years with just the newness wearing off and, you know, just maybe not being quite as big of a spectacle?
No, Indianapolis is Indianapolis. I mean, it is, to me, it's, I'm a little biased. I want to win Kansas more than anything, so Kansas is kind of the #1 until we get that one out of the way. But I'd say Daytona and Indy they're both huge. I don't think there really is there's no bigger race than those two. And I don't feel, I know for me, I have yet to win there and know what it's like, but that still would be a career accomplishment. And I think each driver, you know, I think they feel that way. If you watch the past winners, I mean, seeing Paul win there and Jamie and the emotion, how important that win was to them and their teams, I think we all go to that race and just dream, the guys who haven't won it dream of standing there, you know, on those bricks. That would be very cool.
Let's go Lee, and then we'll go to Jason.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. You went through this whole, you know, rigmarole with the contract thing last year. Matt went through it this year. The two situations were entirely different. You're going to have this come up with you again in the near future. What have you learned from seeing Matt's deal and how you went through it the last time? Would you change the way that you did it last year?
No, I think you know, all you can do is just, like anyone should do, you should look at what's out there and determine what's the best, and then make your decision. And I think that, you know, if the press and you guys start getting a hold of it, it makes it more stressful, because then you start to get outside influence, and it's really hard to put that aside. I think what Matt did, this is just my opinion. I don't know. This isn't a company line or anything like that, but I think what Matt did was very smart for Matt, but keeping it very quiet. He was able to make his decision on his own terms, and I think that. You know, that's why I'm never. You guys will never know when my contract is up. I'm never going to tell you guys again. So, what's that? No, it's not.
Jason.
Jason Frace with the Louisville Courier-Journal. Carl, is dealing with the heat this weekend any different than what you normally encounter at any summer race? And can you kind of go into detail some of the things you do in your seat to kind of stay hydrated and those kind of things?
Is it supposed to get hot or something, or is you know, you try the best you can to stay in shape. I've got a trainer, Dean Gollett. He's standing there in the back. He works for Carmichael Training Systems, and you know, he's here at this race. I'm sure, you know, everybody's got their trainers here. They're making sure they're staying hydrated. They're doing the right things, because it's all these guys are tough. I mean, you know, nobody's complaining, but at the end of the day, you know, 3/4 of the way in that race, you want to be in top form. You want to be the best you can be, and I think that it's not something you can adjust to right here this weekend. It's, you know, you got to eat your Frosted Flakes and your sub sandwiches for lunch, and, you know, all that stuff for a long time leading up to this race. You got to stay in shape, and these are fun races for the guys who do stay fit and work towards this kind of stuff, because you get to kind of see some of that work, hopefully, and you know, I enjoy these hot races.
All right, let's go to Reed, right here. Go ahead.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service.
Everything all right between you guys? You're sitting kind of across.
Oh yeah. We just like aisle seats.
Okay. All right.
It's the heat.
Same as the plane.
You guys do this on the plane too?
Yeah. But Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. A lot of times the lame duck situations don't always end well.
Right.
And 20 races is a long time to be a lame duck in an organization. How do you sort of balance the fact that you've got a friend working for an organization this year that you want to see perhaps win a championship if
right.
you know, if it comes to that, and yet, you know, he's a guy that's you know, you're going to try to develop stuff with the organization that he may be able to take some information with him to a new organization. I remember when Brian Vickers was on the way out at Hendrick, he was asked not to come to competition meetings at a certain point in the season. I mean, how does that all work, and how does the dynamic work within an organization like that?
Matt is a true professional, and I believe that he and Jack will be the one. They know more about Roush Fenway racing and what to do to win championships than me or anyone else at Roush Fenway except maybe Robbie Reiser. So I think those two will determine, the actual logistics or whatever you call it, the planning of who's going to be at what meetings and what information there will be shared. But I mean, Matt is my teammate. He is a guy that I trust. I mean, I was down there in his car talking to him about the line he was driving at the race this weekend. I'm going to treat Matt the same way I have, as a teammate for the rest of this season. I mean, he's going to be a guy that I'm going to lean on. I'm going to hope he's, honest and helping me, and I'm sure he will be. I mean, he just, I'm telling you, you guys know Matt as well as I do almost, and he's a real professional. I think he'll be a threat to win this championship, and I don't think Jack will back down. I don't think, any of the crew guys will. I know we'll give him, everything we can, and as far as what information about future developments we share, that'll be between him and Jack.
Bob Pockris.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Matt laughed at the perception that maybe he had wanted a deal that people perceived would be as good as yours. Do you laugh when people are like, oh, he left because of Carl's deal, or does that type of thing irk you?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, no one knows what my deal is. Nobody really knows the details of Matt's deals. No, I mean, it's all speculation, and I think at the end of the day, I can say that Matt and I we get along as well as we ever have, and that it's an open book over there at Roush with Steve Newmark and Jack and everyone. And if there was ever an issue like that, we'd have worked it out. But it's speculation. I've heard 100 things about what's going on, and I heard hundreds of them about what I was doing last year. Heck, I was signed up at other places, and people knew more about it than I did. So I think at the end of the day, you just have to let the guy go do his business, and whatever is, and the rest is just speculation.
Anything else for Carl Edwards? Carl, thanks for coming in. Look good in that UPS
thanks, man. I appreciate
suit.
it.
And good luck this weekend in Kentucky.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have fun.
Thank you.